Then one day, there it was, just lying there, with the word Army printed on it. Gave me a real shock. Then I started thinking. Try and think clearly, I told myself, and didn't think very clearly at all. Then the doorbell rang. It was Benjamin. He got the same letter. We were to report for duty within a week. We locked ourselves in my apartment that week and tried to think clearly. Let's shoot our kneecaps off, suggested Benjamin. Or cut our arms off. Finally, we got an idea. The day we were supposed to show up, we took a taxi to the Army base. We got a discount. The ladies' fare. We're little girls, we shouted all through roll call. The sergeant set us straight up to Major Bob. Little girls? Shouted the furious military man. If you're little girls, I'm a puppy dog. Then he sent us to the officers' club for a year. Woof, barked the major. Ruff, ruff, ruff. And peed against the radiator. A whole year. Down the drain. Our rehearsal space is great. You know, industrial. Pipes, steel doors, rust, diesel fumes, lime. You know, taking a piss in the floor drain. That's okay. Electricity's good too. Everything's fine, in fact. Except the bums. They get in everywhere and just lay around, making a mess. I don't like them. And they're drunk and mean and don't like music or anything. No sense of humor. We've tried
Feeling for anyone?
several times to create some kind of contact. No sense of adventure. Once one guy stole our mic and ate it. He got an electric shock right through him and died. Benjamin was really pissed off. It was our only mic. Then the authorities came and picked up the stiff. The bums decided to have a wake for their pal and started on the preparations right away. They rolled smokes, stood up, stuff like that. Benjamin and I went to McMagnus and, talked.
Well, no.
After the autopsy, the authorities wanted to give our mic back. We told them no. It smelled like shit. We don't want a mic that's been up some old geezer's ass, we shouted. So the bums got it. They started singing karaoke through our amplifier. We couldn't even tell what song it was. I think it was My Way. We had to cut the juice to get them to stop.
We take these fanatic kids on a roller coaster ride. The surprise, the meeting the celebrity, the interview. So when it finally comes to an end, they can be emotionally devastated. I remember when Cindy Crawford left our fan. Big kid, bruiser.
She was all over me, right? Cindy! She was all over me, man!
I knew I had to be a rock for him.
For 6 weeks, MTV viewers live out their ultimate fantasy when they meet and interview their favorite celebrities. Fanatic, premiering July 6th at 11, followed by Loveline at its new time.
But when I went home, I hopped right in the shower and cried like a baby. But never on the set. Not a drop on the set.
Want to hang out at MTV's Summer Share with 4 of your best friends? Here's what you do. Check out the new intense flavor of Gummy Savers. Call 1-888-98-GUMMY with a UPC code from any package, and you could be a winner. You could also win thousands of other prizes. What are you waiting for?
Now then, what is that phrase you use? Once upon a time.
Say hello to your new stepsister.
Mademoiselle?
All the shades are gone. You poor little country girl.
Steve, get out! Forgive me, Your Highness.
You are the Crown Prince of France.
And it is my life.
What have we here?
No! No!
Just breathe.
Ever After, rated PG-13. August 7th, only in theaters. What if nothing stood between you and where you needed to go? It's like that at Shell, where it's easy to pay, pump, and go. Shell, moving at the speed of life.
Start with Gillette for women and be ready for anything.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Ready to begin?
Yes, I am. Are you ready?
Gillette for women.
Yes, I
Are you ready to feel soft, feel smooth, feel beautiful? Gillette for women. Are you ready?
Look at these strips from Pond's. New Pond's Clear Pore Strips are the only ones contoured for foreheads, chins, cheeks, and noses. They deep clean to unclog pores and gently lift blackheads away. New Clear Pore Strips for your whole face.
Bye-bye, blackhead.
From the Pond's Institute.
revived the magic that started it all.
That's cool, baby.
John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John, Grease. Buy the 20th anniversary limited edition gift set while supplies last. Rated PG.
We had somehow ended up at a real upper-class party, for some reason. Benjamin and I sat at the bar, sipping our triple gin and tonics on the rocks. It was some kind of golf club or something. On the wall, there were pictures of the Rat Pack. You know, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr. Sammy had even been there once and had a dry martini. He was everybody's idol. I guess they thought we were some kind of rock stars, and that's why they didn't throw us out. Some smooth character named Steve came up and started talking to us. He just got his degree in plastic surgery and opened to practice. He had all kinds of new ideas and wanted to try them out on us. Benjamin thought it sounded exciting and had another triple G&T. His office was really luxurious. Dr. Steve showed us around. He didn't have any real clients yet. He said he was more at the profiling stage of his business. So Benjamin could get the operation for free. Dr. Steve took pictures of Benjamin and told us what he thought should be done. Cool, thought Benjamin, and lay down to be rearranged a bit. Since Benjamin was the clinic's first patient, Dr. Steve wanted to make the operation something of a special event. So he arranged a party at the club for the unveiling. Everybody was really anxious to see the results. The band played some smooth cocktail music. The spotlight came on, and Dr. Steve removed the bandage. And what a sight! The crowd gave a standing ovation. People couldn't believe their eyes. How do I look? Asked Benjamin. Do I look good? Sammy's back. Sammy, sing us a song. Someone got the picture from the bar and compared the two. There was a hell of a resemblance. Benjamin was furious and didn't feel like singing. He didn't even know who Sammy Davis Jr. was. We were bored. We get that way sometimes. So we went into town and looked at girls. For several hours. But then we got bored with that too. Then some shaggy character crept up and sat beside us. In broken English, he asked us if we'd like a bit of hot stuff. And we did. Step this way, the guy said, and tottered away. Then he pulled up 2 big bottles of Polish vodka from the trunk of a beat-up old Russian car. Great, said Benjamin. Great, I added. $10 a bottle, he said. Each. It was strong and kind of really strong. And I turned on the stereo. Then something really weird happened. My chair suddenly started jumping around. I tried to calm it down, but it was completely freaked out. It wanted to have some vodka too. At first I didn't want to give it any, but then it started to get pissed off. So I did. We started telling each other dirty jokes and wound up having a good time. A great time, in fact. Sometime in the early morning, I called Benjamin to ask him to come over and join us. He just laughed. Having a party with a chair? That was the nerdiest thing he'd ever heard. Anyway, he was in the middle of a big party of his own, with a couple of lamps from What the Hecker. In the apartment below Benjamin's, there's a crusty old sailor who's always bitching and moaning about everything. As soon as he hears a peep out of anyone, he starts banging on the ceiling and shouting. But that day, he was quiet for a change. It was Benjamin's birthday. He quickly tore off the wrapping from his present. "Wow!" shouted Benjamin. "Cool! A frogman suit!" He was thrilled. Not that he was really interested in diving, but he thought the wetsuit was brilliant. "I can wear this when we're out playing," he said. Benjamin switched on the tape recorder and started jumping around. It wasn't long before the old man started banging on the ceiling. Benjamin got an idea. "Let's scare the shit out of that old guy." Then Benjamin went off and bought a big fish. We tied a string around it. And while Benjamin swam on the fire escape, I slapped the fish against the window. "Mayday, mayday, abandoned ship!" shouted the old man hysterically. Then he ran up to the roof. And jumped into the lifeboat. Then it was quiet. Extremely quiet.
Another proud presentation from MTV. Twisted Toon Weekend, featuring the Academy Award-winning short, The Wrong Trousers, starring England's own Wallace and Gromit. And you'll see the top 10 animated videos of all time. Cartoon Sushi, Celebrity Deathmatch, Daria, and 100 of these things. 14 hours of the world's most deviant animation, all twisted together. Continues tomorrow at 1.
Just for the thrill of it, just for the chill of it,
Eddie Murphy's back.
Stop looking at me like that.
Psycho!
And he's not alone. Featuring the voices of Chris Rock.
I have just been violated. I feel good.
Gary Shandling.
I happen to be attracted to orange breasts.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Throw the ball. He threw the ball.
John Leguizamo.
You're gonna have to give him CPR.
No tongue, Doc.
And Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, baby.
Dr. Doolittle.
Stop talking to me!
Rated PG-13. Now playing only in theaters.
The more power, the quicker the flash, the brighter the smiles. The more power, the more music to enjoy. Introducing the remarkable power of new Duracell Ultra with a concentrated power force to get more life out of your high-tech devices. The more power, the longer the call, the more expressive the conversation. New Duracell Ultra. More power, more life.
Synchronize.
Want big hits? Get the big hit. The Big Hit soundtrack album. Including the blazing new single from LaTanya, What You Want. Featuring Twista.
So what's up with you guys? You the Spice Boys or something?
The Big Hit soundtrack. With big hits from E40, Funk Dubious, Beanie Man, Bounty Killer. And Guts Like Come On Through from Buddha Monk, featuring ODB. Pick up the Big Hit original soundtrack album. On sale now at all Tower Records.
Has this ever happened to you? You're trying to call your husband Frank, who is out on a job site. Then, while you're out shopping, Sally, your daughter, gets out of practice early and needs to be picked up. Later, back at the office, Frank can't locate John, who is waiting at the tennis courts for a quick game before dinner. Welcome to Charter Paging, featuring top-of-the-line Motorola pagers with monthly service as low as $5.95 per month. Never let the unexpected keep you out of touch with your family. Call Charter Paging today.
Now that you have cable, have you thought about getting more? All it takes is one call to Charter Communications to get your commercial-free premium channels. To get more action, more entertainment, more of the movies you want to see. So discover how Charter Communications gives you more than you imagine. Call now to take advantage of this special offer.
Weekend continues with another hardcore episode of Celebrity Deathmatch straight ahead. Don't move a muscle.
At last we got an answer. We got a meeting with Rolling Records. We lived in the rehearsal space, practiced like crazy. This was our big chance. One of the bums made their way in and chewed through the power cord, but Benjamin managed to fix it with a bit of tape. It sounded fine, you know, heavy. We ran all the way to Rolling Records. In the elevator, Benjamin remembered he was going to have his jacket on inside out and his pants on his head. It looked weird, but he insisted. Could be a good gimmick, you know, he said. Alexander Burns saw us in his huge office.
There were lots of golden records hanging on the walls. Alexander sat at his desk, smiling. "Okay, guys, show me what you got," said Alexander Byrne coolly. "Sure thing, babe," I said, and went to plug in. Benjamin tried to say something, but you could barely see him, much less hear him under all those clothes. It's now or never, I thought. "Wow, what a terrific stage show, guys," said Alexander Byrne, and put a few pleasantly cooling wet serviettes on me and Benjamin. But a bit short. Alexander said he wanted to think about it for a while, but would give us a call in due course. "I'm just as turned on as you are, boys," he said before the ambulance came. "But that bit with the pants on your head, I just don't know." Sometimes I get really pissed off. Like, for instance, when you order a McMagnus with pickles, and you find you've been given one without, then I can get so pissed off that I go and I say something. I mean, you get pissed off, you really do. Though that fat Bertha at the register is quite decent, actually. Benjamin's more calm and collected. When he gets angry, he gets the urge to moon. He likes that. His old man doesn't get it at all. Mooning, he gets really pissed and thinks it's all nuts. But it's nothing. Anyway, not if you compare it with streaking, which is what Benjamin's old man used to do. We tried it ourselves a few times. It was cool. Though once, we bumped into a gang of ugly old men. It was Benjamin's old man. He and his gang from the leisure wear department. They'd been to an office party and were pretty well lit. So they decided to join in. God, how embarrassing.
Another proud presentation from MTV. Twisted Toon Weekend, featuring the Academy Award-winning short, The Wrong Trousers, starring England's own Wallace and Gromit. And you'll see the top 10 animated videos of all time. Cartoon Sushi, Celebrity Deathmatch, Daria, and 100 of these things. 14 hours of the world's most deviant animation, all twisted together. Continues tomorrow at 1.
A taste of something twisted.
You're a real blockhead, Rocco. Not funny.
Another taste of something twisted. A slice. It's orange, only twisted.
Look, a falling star.
This summer,
Make a wish.
one movie will make your dreams come true. Mafia.
So long, Mommy.
It'll move you, shock you, and scare the rap out of you. Touchstone Pictures presents Mafia, the one summer movie where size...
Say hello to my little friend.
...doesn't matter. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, July 24th.
I'm looking for Pine Street.
Go down to the fork in the road. Right, but make sure you take the left fork. Right. Then you see a big brown dog. Keep straight. 2 blocks down the street, you see a man named Slappy selling maps. Don't buy one. So you already got one. Right. Hang a right at Slappy. That's a left, right? A right. Left. Right. Okay. Right. Keep straight. Watch out for the goat. Then you see a big McDonald's and... Did somebody say McDonald's? Aren't you glad we brought you here?
I'm glad. You can't always get what you want. You can't.
Down. You're locked and loaded into MTV's Twisted Toon Weekend.
One of those shopping days when I'm out there, like everyone else, fighting over the stale cornflakes and the week-old hot dogs on sale. Such a day. I'm gonna jump up on a table with bananas and oranges and just sit there. And the other customers will gather around the table and be very rude. And then the manager will come out of his office and be very upset and wonder what's going on. And he'll be very unsympathetic and ask me to leave the store. Go home. Never show your face around here again. Go home. Then I will stand up and proudly proclaim that they shouldn't talk to me like that, because I've got God in my pants. And then I'm going to show them what it looks like. Then everybody will become very friendly. Let me go to the front of the line. The manager will have me pack my stuff in a paper bag, and I won't have to pay for the bag. And as I go back to my place, people will stand on the street corners, whispering with admiring voices. There goes Robin. He's got God in his trousers. I was, lonely. Like you can only feel after a real bash. You know how it is. You kind of just feel cold. Towards the afternoon, I recovered and managed to find the personals in the newspaper. Wanted. Mature homeless housewife seeks non-drinking homeless young man without dog. I read on. Wanted. Elderly gentleman seeks young buck, preferably with a broomstick in his butt. What a bunch of nuts. The next one said, wanted. Young girl with highly advantageous appearance seeks boy for delightful dates and possible future together. 555-7052.
Hello.
Her name was Judith, and she worked as a model. I said my name was Benjamin, just to be on the safe side. Then we made a date to meet on the bench behind the hot dog stand in the park. When I got there was no model on the bench. Only some old geezer and a bag lady sitting there eyeing each other. Damn. I asked them to leave, but they just got interested in me. The bag lady wanted to come home with me. The old man lost it and started shouting something about him coming along as well, but he had to see me from the back first. I didn't understand a thing, but I was getting pretty damn mad myself by then. We ended up at each other's throats. When I came to, there she was, just standing there. Judith. What a babe. What an embarrassing situation for me. What boobs. Robin, what are you doing here? Asked Benjamin, clinging on to Judith. I've got a date, I said, in a daze. So do I, said Benjamin, and walked off with the girl, and a broomstick sticking up out of his trousers. I didn't understand a thing. Then the bag lady and the old guy went off to his place. And I was left, you know, alone again.
Wow.
Don't move. Don't blink. Don't breathe. Concentrate on the screen. You're watching Twisted Toon Weekend.
These kids get flown all over the world to meet these celebrities, which is exciting, sure. But the meat and potatoes of the whole show, Fanatic, is the interview. And these fans are nervous. They're meeting their idols. Bruce Willis, Boyz II Men, Cindy Crawford, Bruce Willis, and I've met them all. So usually the kids come to me for advice. No. John Claude's very, how high can you kick? Yeah, right. I know I'm tough, but these kids wouldn't want it any other way. Either with JCVD. Jean-Claude Van Damme?
For 6 weeks, MTV viewers live out their ultimate fantasy when they meet and interview their favorite celebrity. Fanatic, premiering July 6th at 11, followed by Loveline at its new time.
On July 1st. Heads on. Armageddon, rated PG-13, starts this Wednesday.
Okay, fellas, a few rules. First of all, I don't want to see any of this. And none of this. Or that. And none of this. Or that. None of this. Or this. Or that. This. Or that. And absolutely none of these. Okay, touch gloves and fight clean.
Mug Root Beer. The foam goes straight to your brain. The mystery. The magic. The game. Quest 64. The new adventure RPG for Nintendo 64. Ooh. Get in or get out.
In the Ferrari or Jaguar, switching 4 lanes with the top down, screaming out, money ain't a thing.
Bubble hard in the double law, flashing the rings with the window crack, holla back, money ain't a thing.
Jigga, I don't like it if it don't gleam, in the hell with the price, but the money ain't a thing.
Put it down hard for my dogs that's locked in the bang. When you hit the bricks, new whips, money ain't a thing. Come on.
Yeah, I wanna floss with us. Come on. Across the board, we burn it up. Drop a little paper, baby, toss it up. Slacking on your pimpin'.
Get moving to Kmart for the things you need to make your bed and bath beautiful. The Martha Stewart Everyday Collection of sheets that mix with the shams that match the towels. Only at Kmart. And get Tide to help keep your towels looking their best. Tide helps clean away the fuzz to keep cottons looking like new. So get going to Kmart for the brands you love best. That's the Kmart way with Martha Stewart Everyday and Tide.
Now that you have cable, have you thought about getting more? All it takes is one call to Charter Communications to get your commercial-free premium channels. To get more action, more entertainment, more of the movies you want to see. So discover how Charter Communications gives you more than you imagine. Call now to take advantage of this special offer.
The Great Pyramid of Giza consists of 2.5 million blocks and stands 485 feet. Now that's big. But Branch Toyota is bigger. Big volume means big savings at the Branch Toyota Superstore. Drive away in America's #1 selling car, the Camry. Go that extra mile with the sporty RAV4. Admire Avalon's new levels of comfort, reliability, and longevity together in Tacoma 4x4. High-quality pre-owned used cars, plus award-winning factory-trained service technicians.
With MTV's sex-rated video countdown featuring 4 hours of sex-filled bliss, sexy videos, sexy trivia, and the sexiest host since Martha Washington.
Let's get patriotic.
All next weekend, beginning Friday at noon.
Sit up straight. Pay attention. Now, slump. Further down. You're locked and loaded into MTV's Twisted Toon Weekend.
Hello. So, it was that time again. It was Sonia Ruth, assistant to Dennis Plimpton. She calls once a year and tells me I should come in for a checkup. I think that's great. to sit in the waiting room and wait with all the other weirdos. Some of them are fairly nervous, but not me. I think it's great. Then Sonia Ruth comes out and calls your name. And you answer, yes. And then go into Dennis Plimpton's room. And lie down in the dentist chair. It's great. Then the dentist gets going. First with the x-rays. And then with those steel instruments. And the suction tube. That's a bit disgusting, but it's okay, since Sonia Ruth is the one doing the sucking. Then it's time for the filling. So Sonia Ruth gets the anesthetic and gives it to Dentist Plimpton, who gets all excited at the idea of sticking it to you. But I usually duck. So he sticks it in his own leg and falls asleep quite soon. Then Sonia Ruth helps set me free, at last. Then Sonia Ruth gets a glass of warm water. And we put one of Plimpton's hands in it. It takes a couple of minutes before he wets himself. It's always just as much fun. Then I go home. It's great. Well, you know how it is. You have a beer, you have another beer, and, you know, maybe listen to some music, and, you know, that's cool. And when there's a party, I go. And at the party, there's a bunch of people dancing around and, you know, having a good time. And someone, wearing a fez, recognizes you and says, "Hey, it's you." Hello. "Yeah, you too," I say. And then we drink some booze or wine or whatever and have an easygoing conversation. After that, somebody does a trick or some sort of performance. Then the fez man says, "Hey, look here, everybody. Look what I've got. Come on, everybody. It's trans time. It's a red dress. Isn't it a beautiful dress? Why don't you put it on, Robin? It would suit you just fine." So I wear it for a while, and everybody is very amused and laughs a lot and begins to shout, "Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray!" That's what they say when they throw me up in the air. Up and down and up and down and up and down. When the party's over, everybody leaves for their own places. But I usually go to McMagnus before I go to my place. Well, no.
on the next View World.
Global warming in your pants is coming soon.
Does that mean I'm gonna get a piece?
So what's the deal with Nathan and Irene?
I love Irene to death.
I'm starting to think that there is a little more there.
That is redirected sexual tension.
And now that he and Stephanie are having problems,
Maybe we shouldn't be together.
Maybe not.
will it become something more serious?
One of these nights, they're both gonna get weak.
Catch The Real World Seattle on its new night Tuesday at 10, followed by Biorhythm, Madonna.
This summer,
I'm gonna smack that mustache off your face.
Eddie Murphy's back.
You sure you're okay?
Mrs. Guess.
Whoa, you're telling me?
In the funniest movie of the year.
Is that the biggest bite you've ever seen?
He's a lunatic.
Eddie Murphy.
Come here and I'll get bubonic on you.
Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah, baby. Stop talking to me! Sorry.
Rated PG-13. Now playing only in theaters.
The mystery. The magic. The game. Quest 64. The new adventure RPG for Nintendo 64.
Ooh.
Get in or get out.
In the nuts. I'm not.
R2. Nuts.
Animal. It's a beaver. Give him a cashew. No. Beavers don't like nuts.
Everyone loves Planters nuts. Fresh roasted taste, and they're cholesterol free.
Oh, he's good. He's very good.
Planters, relax, go nuts.
Now there's a toothpaste so advanced that it even works when you're not brushing. Colgate Total protects you throughout the day and throughout the night as well. Colgate Total, the brushing so advanced, it works between brushings.
Who wears short shorts? If you dare wear short shorts, never short shorts.
Nair removes hair below the surface to leave your legs smoother days longer than shaving.
Never short shorts.
Now that you have cable, have you thought about getting more? All it takes is one call to Charter Communications to get your commercial-free premium channels. To get more action, more entertainment, more of the movies you want to see. So discover how Charter Communications gives you more than you imagine. Call now to take advantage of this special offer.
A hairstyle is a constant statement of your taste and fashion awareness. Glamorous in the evening's magic, healthy and well-controlled in today's hectic world, unconfined and free-flowing, a modern-day definition of classic, a style that moves with the mood. Take advantage of their summer specials like ladies' cuts, $25, men's only $15, perms, coils, and colors, all at great savings. Create the look that's right for you. Shears Gallery, hair artistry at its best. Waterbury and Southbury.
Hi, I'm Serena Alschel with an MTV News Brief. No Doubt's Gwen Stefani joins folk rocker Poe on a new single called Rise and Shine, which benefits the Rochester, New York pediatric AIDS charity LeVar and Friends. It's named for 12-year-old LeVar Logan Halter of Rochester, New York, who was born with the HIV virus. He is now living with AIDS and has brain cancer. Poe wrote the song after a 1996 Rochester concert where she met LeVar. That is the news for now. More news at 10 of the hour, every hour, right here on MTV.
Well, I told myself that that I was going to make it and that everything was going to be just fine. And that seems strange, but what are you going to write to yourself if you're writing yourself a letter? I told myself I was going to be successful and not to worry about anything, because when you get a letter from somebody else, that's all you really want it to say anyways. I read the letter and, well, it was anticlimactic, I have to admit. It took 5 days, by the way.
At last they released the film, Violence, Drugs, and Sex.
Yes!
Benjamin and I had gotten tickets for the premiere. Best seats in the house. Our concentration was total. But even before the film began, a fat, spotty little Mr. Know-It-All type sat beside us and started a running commentary. Now the projectionist up there has got plenty to do. He's busy getting the film ready. He's got plenty to do. We ignored him. The lights dimmed and the curtains parted.
Now he's turning the auditorium dimmer, said Fatty. And there go the Kuipers. Nice job. Good. Oh dear, oh dear. He's missed the number 3 on the start meter. Well, well, there you are. It's a widescreen anyway. 1 to 2.35. Lovely.
We asked him to shut up, and he did. For a while.
That's terrible. A glimpse of the boom in the upper edge of the picture. What a skew-up.
We tried to ignore him.
Continuity error. God, how embarrassing.
Little Fatty continued.
Before the babe had lip gloss and lipstick on. Now she's only got lipstick.
We couldn't take any more. Can't you see she's naked? We shouted as loud as we could.
Forget the lipstick. Check out the instead, you bloody film buff.
There was silence in the auditorium. Great. Then a couple of ushers came to throw the little swine out. But they grabbed all 3 of us instead. Piggy and Benjamin and me. And they dragged us into the alley. That's enough of your antics, you Hell's Angels, shouted the angriest usher. Then they threw us in an old oil drum. Tore a pillow apart and poured feathers on us. Benjamin and I were really pissed off, but Piggy was delighted.
A very common effect,
said the greaseball,
especially in old westerns, but also in magazines and comic books like Wacky Whoop.
What are you? Wondered a small brat who ran up to Benjamin.
Hell's Angels,
shouted Benjamin.
Wow!
Howled the kid with his eyes wide. And we let him pull off a feather as a souvenir.
I'm a kung fu master. I'm sparring with a blonde woman and easily take her out. I throw her down on the mat and we start Greco-Roman wrestling. I have her pinned, see? She's on her back and I'm holding her knees up around the sides of her head. She smiles and said, "My butt smells like Pop Rocks."
One summer, many years ago, I was going to visit my grandmother and Uncle Harry for the weekend. Harry picked me up in his old car. He drove fast and didn't say very much. Then, all of a sudden, we bumped into something. We'd run over a dog, and it was still alive. Harry offered the owner, an old lady, to put an end to the poor animal's misery. He had a wrench in his car, so he whacked the dog in the head a couple of times. The dog yelped once and just laid there. I stayed at Grandma's place and got to watch TV for 3 days. When Harry drove me back home, we stopped at the scene of the accident. And there they were, the lady and her dog. I screamed at Harry, "Do you see? Harry, the dog!" "No," said Harry in a very angry way. But Uncle Harry, it was... "No," said Harry again. Then he told me I was a very rude boy and shouldn't come back to visit them anymore. But it was the same dog. He had a bandage around his head.
I wake up because something's wrong. Sherry notices I have something sticking out of my mouth. I grab it and pull out long strands of hair from deep in my throat. It's her hair, and though she doesn't look like she's missing any, I've managed to swallow lots of it. We're both a little freaked out, and I look at her, wondering just how the hell it all got there.
Once, when I was with Granny and Uncle Harry, Harry was going to the barber. Granny thought I could go too, and after a while, Harry agreed as well. We walked there. It was a sunny day. Harry took out his new sunglasses he just bought. I couldn't try them on, but I could feel the frames if I was careful. "These cost a bundle, you know," said Harry, putting them on proudly. When we got to the barber's, Harry was ushered straight to the chair. He put his sunglasses into his shirt pocket and got a cape put over him and a bit of tape around the neck. The barber, a young girl, started washing his hair. Harry closed his eyes and smiled. It didn't take long. In the meantime, I had a chance to look at some of the men's magazines the barber had. Cool. When the girl had finished washing Harry's hair, it was time to dry it. So she went off to get the blow dryer. "Robin, have you seen my sunglasses?" asked Harry, looking around. "In your shirt pocket," I said. "Good," said Harry, and worked them out from under his cape. The barber came back and started blow drying Harry's hair.
Oh!
What a pop! It almost killed Harry. "Pervert! Dirty old man! Rapist!" shouted the hysterical barber, and ran off to get the manager.
Oh, you killed him? I did it.
When Harry came to, he showed the girl, without the cape, what he'd been doing. Then she finally calmed down. Then everything was okay. Harry got a cup of coffee and a donut before we left, and he didn't have to pay. The sun was still shining when we went home.
Oh no, the toilet bowl is full of excrement. More matter than one person can generate, which is pretty repulsive because it means people have been ganging up on the poor pot without flushing. I hit that chrome baby and swirl those brown bad boys out to sea. They all go except for one dark long one. It's hiding under the rim, so I don't quite see it at first. Oh, from the looks of it, from the look and smell, I can tell it belongs to my grandmother.